Hello, this is Macy. A whirlwind of speculation has erupted in Hollywood circles following shocking claims that a secret romance between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni may have shaped the high-stakes conflict surrounding their much-publicized film adaptation. Even more startling are reports that Ryan Reynolds, Lively's husband, has discovered newly unearthed evidence that points to a clandestine relationship, sending him into what witnesses describe as a furious reaction. Insiders say this revelation is igniting fresh drama in an already intricate legal dispute, layering the original creative and financial disagreements with an unexpected personal dimension. The backdrop to this unfolding story remains the same high-profile adaptation of a beloved novel that initially brought Baldoni, a respected director known for heartfelt projects, together with Lively, an actor celebrated for her wit and signature sense of style. Early buzz about the film had been overwhelmingly positive. Fans of the novel, which highlights themes of emotional growth and human connection, were thrilled by news of Baldoni's involvement and Lively's casting in a lead role. Word quickly spread that Ryan Reynolds, though never listed as an official producer, was quietly contributing feedback behind the scenes, further fueling excitement about the creative synergy. Not long into pre-production, however, tensions arose.
He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh really? Because I just have one on my list. I don't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, okay, think of someone, think of someone. I'll have new art, I don't know.
Official narrative for months has been that Baldoni and Lively disagreed about comedic elements, wardrobe decisions, and the film's overall tone. Baldoni insisted that the story's poignant themes should remain center stage. Lively argued that modern audiences might respond more enthusiastically if lighter, fashion-forward elements were included. Even so, the public mostly perceived these tensions as typical production challenges. That changed when Lively filed a formal grievance accusing Baldoni of dismissing her input. In response, Baldoni unleashed logs, text exchanges, and notes that seemed to depict Lively as fully engaged. Contrary to her claim of feeling sidelined, Baldoni then escalated matters with a massive $400 million lawsuit, alleging that Lively's allegations had harmed his reputation and the project's financial future. For a time, headlines were dominated by talk of money, creative differences, and star power, leaving fans distraught that their favorite novel had devolved into behind-the-scenes drama. Yet in recent days, everything has been overshadowed by sensational rumors that Lively and Baldoni maintained a secret romantic connection, a possibility that might recast the entire conflict in a radically different light. The impetus for this shift is said to be a newly leaked cache of communications, purportedly including direct messages and video snippets, revealing a closeness that goes far beyond professional respect.
I was testing for a show that ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of 2 people maybe, and then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious.
Right.
Either you got the job or there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
Reynolds, known for his affable public persona and playful banter with Lively, is reportedly devastated and enraged by these revelations. According to people who claim insider knowledge, the new evidence suggests that some of Lively and Baldoni's private communications were more affectionate than standard colleague chatter. While no one directly involved has issued a definitive statement, sources allege that Reynolds discovered these materials through legal channels, prompting what one observer called an unmistakable eruption of anger. He is thought to be weighing the impact on both his marriage and the broader battle involving Lively's claims against Baldoni. For those following the saga, this development raises immediate questions about what role an alleged affair could have played in shaping the public allegations and counter-allegations. Could Lively's earlier complaints have been a strategic move related to a personal entanglement? Or conversely, was Baldoni's giant lawsuit partially motivated by knowledge of a private dimension that might embarrass him or others if it ever became public? The once straightforward narrative focusing on comedic rewrites, extravagant wardrobes, and creative disagreements, now appears far more complicated when filtered through the lens of rumored romantic involvement. Industry chatter indicates that the film's original storyline featured a main character grappling with financial hardship, an element Baldoni wanted to emphasize as central to the narrative's emotional pull. Fans noted a disconnect when photos emerged of Lively in stylish ensembles that did not align with the character's modest economic background. Some speculated that Lively's well-known love of fashion was overshadowing the original text's more serious plot points. Baldoni's circle was quick to spin this as proof that Lively prioritized glamour over authenticity. Lively's team countered by saying such wardrobe choices were part of a creative approach meant to broaden the film's appeal. Now, the question is whether an undercurrent of hidden personal feelings fueled Lively and Baldoni's disagreements over set choices, comedic undertones, and marketing angles. It is also unclear when or how Reynolds began sensing trouble. Observers have long whispered that, despite his uncredited status, he was deeply involved in script discussions, regularly pushing comedic beats that he believed would attract mainstream audiences. Baldoni has implied that these added humorous touches clashed with the story's heartfelt themes, diluting the novel's essence. But if Reynolds suspected that Lively and Baldoni shared more than a working relationship, he may have been motivated by more than just creative convictions. According to some, his frustration about the comedic direction might mask deeper personal suspicions, especially if he believed that Lively and Baldoni were collaborating on decisions for reasons that extended beyond the film's best interest. Adding another layer, rumors persist of a world-famous singer, a close friend to Lively, who allegedly gave creative input. Gossip suggests that this celebrity influence played a part in adding comedic flair or cameo moments that Baldoni opposed. The fresh revelations of a secret affair place those events in a new context. Could Lively have been seeking outside opinions to forge a more independent creative path, one that might align with a potential private relationship with Baldoni, or even distract from it? Baldoni's side, however, continues to emphasize that the singer's involvement was proof that the project was being pulled in a direction he never intended.
My relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very, I come from a middle class, kind of blue collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just he was Clint Eastwood, and less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
In the midst of these swirling rumors, the leaked messages have taken on near legendary status. Close observers say that besides exposing affectionate undertones between Lively and Baldoni, the documents offer a timestamped record of their collaboration, from casual friendly banter to increasingly frequent after-hours communication. If true, this would add significant complexity to the timeline. Lively presented to the court in her complaint. She suggested that she felt creatively dismissed early on. Yet these messages might reveal a period where she not only engaged with Baldoni's ideas, but seemed personally invested. From Reynolds' point of view, the sense of betrayal and anger is likely compounded by the fact that his name cropped up multiple times in both the legal conflict and rumored private exchanges. One unconfirmed report claims Reynolds found direct references in the leaked files to him being an obstacle that Lively and Baldoni had to work around to protect their vision for the movie. An eyebrow-raising proposition if his comedic suggestions were not just unwelcome, but also overshadowed by their personal bond. Such an implication would inevitably deepen his sense of hurt, fueling speculation that he is now determined to confront both the relationship and the ongoing legal quagmire head-on. In Hollywood circles, it is no secret that extramarital rumors can derail even the most ironclad reputations. For Lively, whose carefully maintained public image centers on authenticity, warmth, and a tight-knit family, gossip suggesting a secret romance could be incredibly damaging. This stands in stark contrast to her usual social media presence, where she frequently celebrates her marriage in humorous and heartfelt posts. Skeptics argue that the rumors might be amplified by unscrupulous sources seeking attention, and there has been no official confirmation of any affair. Yet the very existence of a newly discovered trove of messages has many believing there is more behind the rumors than mere tabloid speculation. On Baldoni's side, the narrative is equally fraught. While he entered the project with a reputation for sincerity, some wonder if his massive lawsuit was a way to preempt the scandal by painting Lively as the antagonist before any personal secrets were unearthed. Others believe that even if there was a private aspect to his dynamic with Lively, that doesn't automatically negate his commitment to preserving the novel's deeper themes. He could, in theory, have harbored personal admiration for Lively, while still objecting to comedic diversions or lavish costumes he felt undermined the story's heart. Meanwhile, legal analysts note that Ryan Reynolds could become a major player in any courtroom showdown, whether as a witness or a party.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which
except
one?
it's just,
Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
And tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
If he decides to file actions of his own, if the newly surfaced evidence truly references a clandestine bond between his wife and Baldoni, Reynolds might argue that those personal entanglements directly influenced the production's trajectory, harming potential financial returns. Some experts even speculate that Reynolds, faced with proof of an affair, might unite with Baldoni, legally or strategically. Although such a twist sounds more like a Hollywood plotline than real life. All these revelations come at a precarious time. Producers and investors tied to the adaptation are reportedly exasperated. Once hailed as an emotional blockbuster with star appeal, the project is now overshadowed by salacious rumors and fractious lawsuits that threaten to overshadow any cinematic merit. Studio insiders dread the possibility that an endless cycle of revelations about the film's entangled participants will make it difficult to promote or distribute, especially when the public fixates on speculation over an alleged affair rather than the novel's resonant messages about empathy and transformation. As for the fans, many are stunned. Social media platforms are abuzz with debates and theories, particularly among those who have supported Lively's brand for years, seeing her as a model of sincerity and devotion to her family. The notion that she might be involved in a private romance with her director has ignited everything from dismay to curiosity. Some express caution, noting the volatile nature of unverified rumors. Others wonder if the entire story might be an elaborate deflection. And a vocal minority question whether the secret affair narrative could be an attempt to overshadow the original creative rift, possibly orchestrated by a third party with a vested interest in controlling the lawsuit's outcome. One of the most controversial points of evidence rumored to be in the leaked files is an exchange from a late-night meeting, possibly at Lively and Reynolds' property. Originally described by Baldoni as a routine get-together to finalize stunt work, the gathering was said to have spiraled into chaos when Reynolds took offense at remarks he interpreted as critical of Lively's physical preparedness. Now, fresh context suggests that the blow-up might have stemmed from underlying tension over rumored private interactions between Lively and Baldoni. If the new materials contain references to secret rendezvous or an intimacy that had become an open secret among the film crew, that moment might make much more sense. The meltdown could have been less about stunts and more about betrayal, fueling Reynolds' frustration until it boiled over. For Lively's legal team, the stakes have skyrocketed. It's one thing to fend off claims of defamation or misrepresentation in a production dispute. It's quite another to deal with allegations that your client was juggling a hidden romance that compromised the integrity of her own public statements. If Lively initially portrayed herself as reluctant or blindsided by directorial choices, the authenticity of that portrayal could be called into question if the leaked texts show an intimate rapport with Baldoni. At the same time, if the rumored messages reveal more about Baldoni's behind-the-scenes tactics, or if he used the alleged affair as leverage, Lively's defense might pivot to painting Baldoni as manipulative. We always tease each other.
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have 2 other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much.
Still, the mere whisper of an affair complicates her position in the eyes of neutral observers. Ryan Reynolds, for his part, has remained uncharacteristically silent on social media. Typically known for quick humor and engaged online interactions, he appears to be keeping his head down amid these revelations. One rumor suggests that he and Lively are engaged in tense, private discussions about how to proceed, weighing the professional fallout against the personal toll. If Reynolds is as livid as multiple sources claim, his fury could lead to a public confrontation with Baldoni, or even new legal claims that overshadow the already dramatic lawsuits swirling around the adaptation. On the other hand, no matter how damaging it may seem, sensational claims about a secret affair are not always definitive proof of wrongdoing in a legal sense. It all depends on how the information was obtained, how relevant it is to the defamation and counterclaims, and whether it directly contradicts testimony given under oath. Some suspect that if the rumors are strong enough and likely to become public, Lively and Baldoni might opt for a private arrangement to avoid the spectacle of a trial. Others predict they'll fight to the bitter end, determined to preserve or reclaim their reputations. The question on everyone's lips: is there a possibility that the footage or text messages are being misinterpreted? Could the alleged secret affair simply be the product of overblown speculation about a close director-actor bond? Skeptics point out that in creative collaborations, long hours and intense discussions can foster a certain level of emotional intimacy. It doesn't necessarily equate to a romance, but once rumors begin, they can snowball, especially if there are ambiguous messages or affectionate remarks that, freed out of context, seem more suggestive than they were intended to be. Until official statements emerge, the public is left to rely on unnamed sources and incomplete leaks, which makes it challenging to decipher fact from rumor. What is clear, though, is that Ryan Reynolds' reported anger, whether fueled by confirmed evidence or mere suspicion, adds a formidable new layer to this extraordinary confrontation, where once the headlines focused on comedic rewrites and lawsuits, they are now fixated on a personal betrayal that could reshape alliances, alter legal strategies, and perhaps jeopardize the film's future altogether.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
The entire situation underscores how quickly a major Hollywood production can spin off course when personal entanglements intersect with creative disputes. In a short span, the adaptation of a cherished novel has become ground zero for questions about star images, private relationships, and massive financial stakes. Each new morsel of leaked information raises eyebrows, draws lines in the sand, and escalates tensions among Lively, Baldoni, Reynolds, and their respective teams. It's a classic example of the high-wire act celebrities perform, balancing personal lives and professional obligations in an environment where every detail is scrutinized. For now, fans of the original book wait in limbo, uncertain whether they will ever see a faithful film adaptation. Producers remain caught in a web of potential legal pitfalls and negative publicity. Meanwhile, the key players, Lively, Baldoni, and Reynolds, stand at the center of a storm. If the rumored affair is validated, the repercussions could follow them well beyond the single project, affecting future roles, directorial opportunities, and brand partnerships. If the rumors prove to be exaggerated or unfounded, the episode might still linger in public memory, a cautionary tale about how quickly trust can erode when a production descends into rumors and leaked secrets. Regardless of the ultimate truth, Ryan Reynolds' response loses it. As many tabloids proclaim, starkly demonstrates how personal revelations can ignite powerful emotional responses even among the most polished public figures. Observers expect more revelations in the coming weeks as legal teams either jockey to conceal or leverage the rumored affair. A crucial factor is whether the contents of the alleged messages or footage become publicly accessible, potentially confirming or debunking the swirl of speculation. In the end, This saga highlights the razor-thin line between professional collaboration and personal entanglement, particularly in the ultra-competitive environment of Hollywood. The potential exposure of a secret affair, combined with long-running creative disagreements and enormous legal stakes, has transformed a once promising cinematic endeavor into a spectacle that has overshadowed the very story it set out to celebrate. Only time and further documentation will reveal the extent to which these extraordinary rumors are grounded in fact, and what lasting impact they will have on the careers and personal lives of the acclaimed trio at the heart of this tempest.